Hey, what's good? Gang, y'all already know the vibes, man. We back again with another video, man. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like,
comment,
subscribe,
turn on your post notifications,
and join the bro gang, man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Y'all, we ready to react to the 10 weirdest foods eaten around the world. Me personally, I'm not a weird food eater. If it looks weird, I probably won't eat it. I'm just a skeptic like that. So, I don't know. We just gonna have to see what this talking about. I don't know. I'm not picky, but if it's, let's just get into it.
Let's get into it.
Plenty of dishes out there that, for a variety of reasons, I simply won't touch. This hasn't stopped other countries from digging into these recipes with gusto, though. We may cringe, but people around the world are simply licking their chops. We hope you brought your appetite, because we're counting down the top 10 weirdest foods other countries love to eat. Not every strange foreign dish stands a good chance of murdering you, but there's still plenty odd to American taste buds. The Armenian soup called kash is just that. Kash is cow meat simmered in broth and liberally seasoned with garlic, salt, and lemon juice. That doesn't sound so weird, except the cow meat in question is from the hooves. Yes, to eat kash is to eat cow feet. Even stranger is how some chefs will add pieces of cow stomach to the mixture. It's all the parts of the cow that American steak enthusiasts tend to ignore, but Armenians swear by it. In their country, kash is as much a ritual as it is a meal. Preparing it can take upwards of 2 days. After removing all the hair, a chef places the hooves in cold water for at least a day. This is to remove all possible dirt, impurities, and funky smell. After all, who knows what the cow stepped in. Then you simmer the hooves in water for 8 hours, making sure to check in every hour to top off the water and prevent both the pot and feet from drying out. After that, you scoop out the broth and meat and serve. All the seasonings come later, added according to the diner's personal tastes. Making this long ritual even crazier is that kash is typically meant to be enjoyed in the morning as a hangover cure after a night of craziness and partying. So, for a soup made of feet and stomach, chefs will often go without sleep to ensure it comes out perfectly. It kind of makes spending 10 minutes slaving over a hot George Foreman seem lame by comparison.
Oh no, did y'all see that chicken on that joint? That shit
look good.
That look nasty.
No, you talking about the George Foreman?
Yeah, that look nasty.
You like the George Foreman?
That look raw. Okay, so I'm not eating that. You eat that?
Ever put food in the fridge and forgotten about it, only to find it months later when cleaning out the fridge? You wouldn't eat that, right? If it was halkudok, you would. Typically found in Greenland, halkudok isn't just any shark meat. Preparers usually use meat from the Greenland shark, which is highly poisonous due to all the uric acid and trimethylamine oxide. The only way to detoxify the meat is to ferment it, and this process takes months. First, you bury the meat in a shallow hole and cover it with gravel and large stones. This helps to remove toxic fluids from the meat, but doing so takes anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. After that, you cut the meat up into strips and hang it out to dry. It's another several months before the meat is dry enough to serve. Once it is, you remove the now brown skin.
Oh no, wait, so they don't even cook that shit. So they ferment it and then they leave it up, hanging, and I guess the sun cooks it.
They let the environment take its course.
That's disgusting, bro. No, and it says it takes months for you to be able to eat it. So you know how many bugs and stuff are flying? Like
bugs is good for it.
Oh, this nigga's weird. I'm discovering shit I never knew about him.
What?
I didn't know he was okay with eating such weird shit.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god. So you leave it outside with bugs to go. Where's the sanitation at? They're saying you leave it out there and immediately eat it after those bugs. That's disgusting. No, they're finding sharks.
If you've never eaten halkudok before, know what you're getting into. Fermented shark meat still contains a tremendously high level of ammonia, so the second you sniff it, you will likely gag, cough, and possibly dry heave. Those who get past the stench, however, insist the taste is far milder and is actually quite pleasant. So hold your nose and give it a go.
No, thank you. That's another zero.
Stink
from
The
there.
very name should be enough to put anybody off this food. Stink bugs are exactly what they sound like, insects that give off a terrible scent. Much like skunks, stink bugs emit their smell when
I
they...
hate those things.
I always want
Bro.
to squish them.
Have you ever heard of like?
No, we haven't heard of that shit.
Bro, it's
defending themselves. And even if you like eating bugs, this might very well turn you off to the idea of eating these particular ones. Even so, they're a popular snack around Africa and
making
countries
me
like
itch.
Taiwan. They're apparently
That's-
quite spicy, and people love to eat them both alone and mixed in with other foods.
Oh my
But
God.
worry not, for the spice doesn't come from the stink glands. When preparing the bugs for consumption, cooks do remove the glands. Not eating the stink might make eating stink bugs more palpable, except for one other issue. You may be eating these bugs alive. In Mexico, they use a species of stink bug called the humil, and this hardy little guy can survive upwards of a week after being cooked and beheaded. So if you eat a taco sauce mix containing humil, there's a good chance those little guys are still alive and kicking. That fact might stink most of all.
It says after being cooked and having his head cut off.
Chances are you've eaten clams. Perhaps you've eaten
I've
them raw,
eaten clams.
but have you ever eaten them so raw they're still bleeding? Probably not, and for good reason. Blood clams, usually found around the Indian Ocean, are a particular kind of clam called Tegulaca granosa, most notable for producing tons of hemoglobin. This is the chemical that gives blood its lovely red colour, and blood clams being loaded with them means when you open one, that stuff will spill everywhere. While you could theoretically boil most of this liquid away, doing so means you're not enjoying blood clams the way they're meant to. To fans of the dish, the rawness and bloodiness is part of the appeal, so most chefs will boil them for 20 seconds maximum. This keeps all the hemoglobin and rawness of the meat perfectly intact. Fans swear by the tastiness of blood clams, but even they can't deny the inherent dangers of eating such a dish. Since there's no prep time aside from an ever so brief boiling, all sorts of viruses and bacteria a blood clam carries are still there.
What?
So feel free to eat this meal, but no, dessert may be a heaping helping of hepatitis, dysentery, or worse.
Yo,
White
what?
egg
It's
soup.
not that good for you to risk getting sick over it. Like what?
Some people
That
might take
nigga said you might get hepatitis from it. Hard pass again. I'm not eating it, bro. I'm not. You eating that shit?
white egg soup.
If
Now,
you
eggs
want
are
a
small,
truly sensational
so I might
soup,
eat this
head to the Vietnam, Cambodia area and give white ant egg soup a shot. If you don't want to eat hundreds of ants
that'll
at
count.
various stages of development, however, then maybe stay away. True to its name, white ant egg soup is comprised of white ant eggs. If you eat it, fans say, the eggs pop open in your mouth and emit a sour flavour. So if Sour Patch Kids have lost their luster, try some ant eggs instead. But that's not all. This soup also contains partial ant embryos as well as baby ants. So no matter what stage of development you like your ants, this soup has got you covered. Unless, of course, you're one of those oddballs who like to chow down on adult ants. If that's the case, you'll just have to make your own soup.
Okay. So far out of all of them, that was the most reasonable. I can
It
eat
was.
eggs. I can eat eggs. And they're small. I can do it. I can do it. But that's about it for them. Everything else, nah. No
Tuna
thank you.
eyeballs.
While this dish may sound like something a child may invent, or perhaps an ingredient in a witch's curse, in Japan, tuna eyeballs are
Those actually look like.
Hey, do you have an email address?
Hey,
There
no,
are
we don't.
4.6 billion
No,
email
we don't.
addresses in the world.
Shut up.
And
a real delicacy. A tuna's eyeballs are roughly the size of a tennis ball, so there's
Jeez,
plenty
look how
to
big a tuna
consume. When
is.
cooked, the outer part of the eye, called the sclera, becomes extra chewy and not particularly edible. However, the inside becomes quite soft and easy to drink if that's your thing. Despite many chefs sautéing the eyeballs with flavours like soy sauce and ginger, many people report the taste as kind of bland. It sounds like the rest of tuna is far more flavourful. If you still wish to try some eyes next time you're in
For
Japan,
what?
make absolutely sure they're cooked. Some may say you can eat the eyes raw, but doing so risks contracting all sorts of bacteria. As other foods on this list have already proven, bacteria isn't a fun part of any dining experience, so please cook your eyes before consuming them.
Right,
In addition,
what?
should you try tuna eyeballs, be sure to ask for its accompanying shot called tuna's tears. It's a mixture of strong spirit soju and raw tuna fish lens, and it's likely to bring a tear to your eye as well.
They said it wasn't even that good, so why would I
There's a
try
chance
it?
you've eaten uni at your favourite sushi restaurant, or at least seen it on the menu. But do you know what it is? If you answer, it's a sea urchin, you're only partially correct. Uni is a sea urchin, yes, but there's only one part of the urchin that's even remotely edible. It's gonads. So if you order uni, understand you're about to eat an urchin's raw testicles. Each urchin contains 5 gonads, but only a small amount of urchins sport the edible kind. So when you manage to eat uni, understand you're about to consume a rare delicacy. You'll just have to get past the psychological aspect of exactly what you're eating. It's actually an incredibly versatile food, and you can find it served as sushi, sashimi, atop of bed of pasta or rice, or steamed in an eggy broth called chawanmushi. Or if you're particularly adventurous, you can simply crack open a uni like a walnut, scoop out the innards, and eat away. That is, if you're okay with eating a living creature's reproductive organs while it slowly dies in front of you.
That's disgusting. I wouldn't do that. That seems
Millions upon
inhumane.
millions of people enjoy sushi and sashimi, but most would turn and run at the extreme version of that, a Japanese dish called Odoridon, where you essentially eat an octopus alive. To prepare Odoridon, a chef will take an octopus or squid and chop its head off. Then they'll immediately place the raw corpse upon a bed of
Why? It
noodles,
looks like it
rice,
moves.
and salmon
It
eggs.
is moving.
That's
Oh.
it. Then they bring the freshly dead octopus to your table, and it's
freshly
time to
dead?
eat.
They cut
As you
the
might have guessed,
head off,
a headless octopus isn't
it's
actually
gonna move-
alive,
but
but
it's
it
gonna
might
move,
as well
though.
be, given how active its nervous system is.
Yeah.
Pour soy sauce over the body, and it will start to wriggle and shake. That's because the sodium in soy sauce activates the tentacle's neurons, which have not yet shut down, to come alive. These neurons stimulate nearby muscles and cause them to contract, which makes it seem like your food is dancing around. So why on earth would anybody want to eat such a thing, you ask? To many, the sensation of eating something that's squirming inside your mouth is worth the night out, despite how, if you're not careful, it could be your very last night ever. That's because the still wiggling and contracting tentacles might just latch itself onto your throat as you
Right.
attempt to swallow them.
Right.
Quick reminder, the suction cups on these tentacles are incredibly strong.
Right.
If it does this, you're likely to choke to death.
Right.
Let's just stick to calamari, in our opinion.
Duck
Eating
embryo.
roast duck is normal. Eating duck eggs is also normal. But balut, which is an egg with a duck embryo inside, is just plain bizarre. This off-putting Filipino dish is prepared by taking a duck egg and fertilizing it for several weeks. After about 3 weeks, the egg sports are well-formed feeders, complete with feathers, wings, and a beak. They then hard-boil the egg and serve it to the hungry party, who eats the entire embryo straight from the shell. While you may be cringing at the idea, rest assured that balut is not a dangerous food unless you choke on the beak or something. You're essentially eating a combination of duck and duck egg after all, and gaining all the calcium and protein from both. What's more, according to local Filipino belief, balut is a great libido-boosting aphrodisiac. That's something to consider for your next dinner date. If you want to try balut, you don't have to worry about shelling out tons of money at a fancy restaurant. This is no rare delicacy, but rather a
Doesn't it
normalized
look
snack
good?
you can buy almost anywhere in the country. Expect to pay about $12 for a dozen balut or $1 each. That's cheaper than a McChicken and healthier to boot. Everyone likes soup, but not everyone is likely to enjoy fruit bat soup. It won't take long to understand
COVID.
why. To prepare this so-called soup, which you mostly find in countries like
This
Guam,
video
you
is
take a wild
COVID-19.
fruit bat and boil it alive. Then you place the bat in a bowl with some coconut milk and a few vegetables. Then
Look
you eat
at
it.
it.
That's literally it. Did you notice the recipe doesn't include instructions like debone the bat or remove the bat's hair or behead the bat? That's because you don't do any of that. You eat the whole bat, wings, eyes, nose, brain, and anything else aside from the bones, and pluck the hair out of your teeth while doing so. Never mind that.
That's
when prepared this
disgusting,
way,
man.
fruit bat soup sounds unbelievably bland.
That's disgusting.
It's also unbelievably dangerous. Much like Odoridon, the fruit bat ends up on your plate immediately after dying. Unlike Odoridon, however, this was a wild bat that was only superficially cleaned prior to boiling.
right.
As such, it's still loaded with all the bacteria and parasites you may expect from a wild bat. Eat this dish and you're asking all sorts of deadly diseases you simply can't get from a nice bowl of alphabet soup.
Right. See, that's stupid
crazy.
as fuck to me. Like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people have their cultures and stuff, but it's like borderline. Some stuff is just borderline. You're taking it too far, bro. That's literally COVID-19. Like, they're eating bats. Like, bro, when niggas eat wild animals, bro, there's such a deep cleaning process, bro. Cause like they said, all the different stuff you can catch, bro. If you just kill it and then serve it, they're not even removing hair, bro.
I didn't see him washing them.
So they're literally basically cooking the bitch right when it dies.
Because the grease is supposed to.
Grease is not killing. The thing is, they're cooking it. Grease is just gonna cook the meat. But if you're not washed, bro, you have to wash, thoroughly clean, do all that shit to meat, bro. It's not something you just, oh, I killed it and I boiled it and boom, everything's dead. No, that's not how that works. Yeah. They cook. You gotta, when you get like a steak or chicken and shit, that shit is so thoroughly like processed and shit like that, clean, and then you gotta go through the extra process of cooking it to further like make sure everything's going. But they clean that bitch the fuck up before it really gets into production though. Yeah. I'm not eating any of that except maybe the ant eggs. If I had to choose one thing, it would have been the
That's
ant
what
eggs.
I said, because they're so small.
That would have been the only thing I would have ate.
Yeah.
Everything else was literally disgusting.
It
like
was.
The octopus alive too. Come on, like more dead but moving.
Yeah.
And then like, bro, like you said, bro, if an octopus jump gets down your throat, but you know how strong octopus things are. Them things would be
That
breaking
would be
open
tragic.
shells and shit. If that shit sticks to the side of your throat, it's slow for you. Cause you want to eat, cause of that. And then you got stuff like the tuna eye. They said this shit is not even good. It's just, come on, bro.
Wow.
But I don't know. I'm not eating. You said you would eat a couple of things.
I said I would eat probably the ant, and I said I probably the octopus joint. I wouldn't, only because the head it was moving.
Yeah. That
And
was
at
weird.
first I thought it was just dead and it was sliding off the thing, so I thought that's why it was moving.
Nah, stuff like that. It's still the sensories and stuff is still active after.
Yeah,
it's
that would
dead.
freak me out.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
But
But anything mostly grilled, I feel like I can open up my mind to that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying. For the most part, it'd probably be the ant.
Yeah.
Cause it's the easiest
Ant
thing,
too.
smallest,
And two.
and probably crunchy.
Nah, I wouldn't say all that. But y'all let us know in the comment section down below which of these would y'all eat. Y'all have to pick one. You have to pick one. Let us know
You
which
have
one.
to?
Yeah, you gotta pick one. Which one would you guys eat?
You heard
And
that.
if y'all want to see more vids like this, top 10s of anything, y'all comment them down in the comment section down below, man. That's gonna be it for this video, though,
It's
man.
the Twin Bro Show.
We out of here.
Peace.